with the committee substitute. It is a combination of several pieces of legislation that have been filed through this session, some of which the Senate messed with our bills, so we decided to put some of our bills on their legislation. Some of which were bills that the L&O committee didn't get around to hearing because, I don't know, they were dealing with cannabis-infused drinks and vapes. It's not the chairman's fault. It just had a backlog. So, Mr. Speaker, what Senate Bill 25 does, it keeps the original provision which would allow for industrial revenue bonds for the purpose of residential multifamily housing units. At its core, it was a product of the Housing Task Force. Senate Bill 25 remains unchanged, but what does add several other provisions to it, including sections 2 through 13, which are very similar to House Bill 9, which left this body a few weeks ago, that the Senate has passed with an amendment on it, and they changed greatly. So we want to send them back House Bill 9 in a better form. It also has sections 14 through 18 that deals with the provisions of House Bill 643 that was sponsored by the gentleman from Marshall. It will allow local government to create a local appeal board to hear appeals from final orders from the fire chiefs and state fire marshals. It also includes Senate Bill 85. We found a good Senate bill that they had, and we decided to go ahead, rather than passing 2 Senate bills, we would try and cut down on the number of bills, and we included the provision of Senate Bill 85 in it, which defines the deputy officer, the deputy auditor, and the ombudsman, and establishes an organization within the auditor's office. Section 32 of the measure, it's very sad for me because we're in the final days of this session, but not just in this session, but we're getting ready to go into temporary structures next year as capital renovations begin. But through the process, we know right now where we deliver bills to the governor. We don't know where to deliver them when he's out of the Capitol just like us. So Section 32 just establishes the place where we will deposit the bills and consider them delivered to the governor for his signature or veto in the times that we are out of the state capitol. Section 33 and 34 deals with the Court of Justice and their needs, where on how they handle what they're doing while we are out of the state capitol for capital renovations. Section 35 through 39 include the provisions of House Bill 606, which passed this body pretty overwhelmingly a few weeks ago, as well as most of the provisions in the Senate committee substitute to House Bill 606, which were technical changes to House Bill 1 and House Bill 6 of last year's session, which were the budget and the Investment Act of House Bill 1. Section 40 provides funding for an audit for KCNA, and the Kentucky Wired Network. Section 41 declares an emergency. That's what the House Committee Substitute does. With that, Mr. Speaker, I move adoption of House Committee Substitute 1.